Hmm. Alright, I should be live. How is it, everyone? What the hey diddle diddle is going on with you? I'm Multi-Apples, and today I'm live streaming some Forza Motorsport 5. So let's go ahead and go ahead and get started. You just type up something, and then I'll be okay. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. It's 2:40 in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, I went to bed after 7 this morning, no. So in the morning, how can it, I meant to say I went to bed after 7 a.m. I didn't sleep until 7 a.m. Yesterday. Then I woke up about 4 or 5, and I've been up ever since because my sleep schedule is completely messed up now. And yeah. Just go ahead and start the race. Three, two, one, and let's go, y'all. This should be fun. How are y'all doing? It's been a while since I played Forza Motorsport 5, so I thought, you know what, why not play it and stream it. So EA Play, I think, is coming out on the 10th, not the 13th, like I mentioned in a previous stream. So, 3 days earlier than I expected, which is cool. It's just actually the date of my next class. Actually, for one of the jobs I applied to, I thought I wasn't gonna get, but I mean, there's a chance I'm still not gonna get it, but I thought for sure I wasn't gonna get it. Now, I scheduled an interview with them. They contacted me, and so later today, I'm going to. They wanted to see my video editing skills before the interview, to see if my video editing skills are a good fit, and if it is, and I do well on the interview, then the interview is Monday, actually, for me, at 2. If I do well, that'll be good. So, I don't want to give out any information. Not to, just so I won't, out of respect for the company right now, and not to ruin my chances of getting the job. So, yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm also thinking, if I don't end up getting the job, I probably started a little too late, but I know this month and next month I'm gonna look for grad school, and maybe if I don't get the job, just continue applying for jobs and just also look into grad school. I started that technically yesterday, but I started a bit. I should have started earlier. So I'm also gonna see if there are If by the time I graduate, I still don't have a job, I'm going to just see what local, like I've been applying for local jobs and out of town jobs, but that's mainly related to my major. And if there aren't, I'm gonna wait till about December till I start applying for local jobs that aren't related to my major. Because as of right now, I've been applying to jobs mainly out of state, and I haven't been getting them. Um, but that sucks for me though. I think it's mainly either to me being not qualified enough, and due to the pandemic. But so far, everyone I've contacted with has said that while that they appreciate the time, there are other more qualified candidates. But I mentioned this in a previous live stream with the Catch-22. Is how can I get experience? If it's I mean I'm not qualified for in terms of experience. Uh, how can I get experience if I can't get a job? So, oh well. It is what it is. They decided not to um, hire me, so there's nothing really I can do. Let me type something. Alright. So, just wanted to give you all a little update on my progress in terms of finding jobs. I definitely should have um, taken more into account how the pandemic would affect. So, I would definitely be applying for graduation if I can this semester. And if I still haven't gotten a good enough job by summer, at least by the deadline to apply, if I can apply for next semester for grad school, um, then I'm going to try and aim for the fall next year. And hopefully we would have had a vaccine for the coronavirus by then. It's currently 2:48 a.m. November 7th, 2020, where I'm at right now as I'm speaking. Depending on when you're watching this, I don't know when you watch this, but if they have found a vaccine for this, when you're watching this, when did they find it, and is it effective? Now, I'm going to take a drink out of some, hold on, my hand is covering it. Some Kroger purified water. And I'm going to type in something in chat really quick. Boom. So yeah, I want to get into streaming more. I got an Elgato HD60S, like the ones I previously had, because when I was using the Elgato Game Capture AD, the files were too large, and I wanted to see if a different Elgato capture card will make this mouse smaller, but unfortunately it does not. I tested it out, so, and I don't know a good website to compress large files, so I just ended up deleting the video. It had an extremely large one. It was over 28. I believe it was 28.1 gigabytes. And it's a 2-hour long video, which is a very enormous file. And I don't know how to compress a file, so if you know how to compress a file, please let me know. And so I think it may be due to the PC I'm using. I'm not entirely sure. Because the laptop I had that wasn't charging properly that got broken. I would make the same length of videos, and it would be the file size would be much smaller. So I think what I'm going to do for my longer videos is I'm going to definitely stream it on YouTube. For those videos. Every time I want to make a long video. Sometimes I'll do it with commentary and a face cam. Other times I won't. And yeah, so when I want to make a long video, I'll just do it with I'll just stream it like a couple hour long video. So yeah, so BBC doesn't air for 2 hours like it does during the week, at least on the weekend. So it's currently Saturday, so I don't need to worry about ending before 4. So I just hope YouTube can properly process the stream. So yeah. So I know for a fact that about an hour and a half long video, if I stream it on Twitch, when I download it, that'll be about a 1.5 or 1 point, yeah, anywhere from 1.3 to 1.9 gigabytes. So I can definitely do that. So if I'm gonna do like a 3, 4, 5 hour long video, I'm gonna just stream it directly onto YouTube, and hopefully YouTube will allow it to process properly. So I would like to buy myself an Xbox Series X for Christmas, plus Call of Duty Black Ops 5 Cold War. So I would like to buy that game on the Xbox Series X. So and I'll probably buy it for Christmas. It's not even out at the time of this live stream, so yeah. And I'm still playing Forza Motorsport 7. I just haven't played it as much as I have been. So yeah, I think my attitude towards streaming now and making content is I'm just gonna I'm still gonna upload daily, because one, I like uploading videos every day, and I like making videos. It's just if I keep myself to, oh, I'm gonna upload this at this time, and then stream here at this time, and then I'll stream on YouTube later. If I do it like that, I can I'll tend to start getting miserable in terms of making videos. So I view this as more of a hobby and to talk to people and just tell my story, you know, talk about myself, talk to people, interact with people as well. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna make the play the games that I want to play and make the content that I want to content and I'm gonna you know, for those long videos, several hour long videos for you know, I'm gonna just stream on YouTube, and for maybe at most an hour and a half roughly, um those what I consider to be medium length videos, I'll just stream those on Twitch. And for any short videos, I'll just not stream them. I'll just make them either using the OBS or the Elgato. I mean, you need the Elgato to use the OBS, but for me, streaming is I prefer. If I'm streaming on YouTube, I prefer the OBS. If I'm streaming on Twitch, I prefer the Elgato. And when it comes to making games on the PS2 or making videos on the with the PS2 and Wii, I can only use the Elgato because for some reason the OBS doesn't recognize that I'm doing it not on the Xbox One or Xbox 360 or Nintendo Switch. So yeah, oh well, that was me. That I messed up. So I need to get into the. You know, I downloaded a calendar app on my phone, so I really want to figure out how to set reminders for that. And I've been contacting Apple support through Twitter to see how they can. Because for some odd reason, when I get texts or notifications or calls, I never ring, and the phone never rings or makes. I can never hear my ringtone, so I don't know how to fix that. So I'm looking to change that. So yeah. And yeah, when it comes to streaming on YouTube, actually regardless of and Twitch, regardless of what game I'm playing, well, unless it's like a story mode game, a game with a story, I'm just gonna just stream for as long as I want, and yeah. I've never seen like the last two unofficial episodes of Phineas and Ferb. I say unofficial because I don't think Disney recognizes them. Well, they do on Disney Plus. It's like the OWCA files for Phineas and Ferb. That's the show I'm talking about. And I saw part 1 and part 2 today, and it came out like 5 years ago. So, like, Disney Channel, Disney ended this Phineas and Ferb series 4 or 5 years ago, and Phineas and Ferb, I think, is one of the better shows. So it's definitely up there in terms of animated shows. Like, I remember seeing Lilo and Stitch and Kim Possible as a kid. And those two are my favorite Disney Channel cartoons for the longest time until Phineas and Ferb came out. And that was my favorite until Amphibia came out. So, yeah. I also liked, to a lesser extent, Gravity Falls. So, oh, does anyone remember the Emperor? Does anyone remember the Emperor's New Groove? Like the show, not the movie. As well as Brandy and Mr. Whiskers and I think it was Dave the Barbarian. Yeah. So actually, my sleep schedule has been completely messed up because I think I mentioned this in the previous video on my channel or stream. I mean, they're all technically videos now, but the exception of this one because it's a live stream right now. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure my stupid chair doesn't move. Sorry. I will also just get a wet wipe real quick. Yeah. So, yeah, before the pandemic started, mainly when I didn't have classes the next day, I would usually stay up late. Excuse me for coughing. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my mouth closed, so I'm not sick or anything, but thankfully. Yeah, before the pandemic, really, or at least before the lockdown went into effect. I would stay up late, maybe to about 2 or 3, only when I didn't have class the next day. Sometimes later. It's now, I mean, I still have class, but it's all online. We meet online, so, and not in person. So when I, would, now since the pandemic started, due to the fact that I only have to wake up early 1 day a week, now with my schedule, I have practically, go to bed after 4 or 5 every day now, after 4 or 5 in the morning. And I wake up from any time between 12 and, I'd say more or less, 11 and, let's see, 5, really, depending on when I go to bed. Like, yesterday, I went to bed at 7, and then I didn't wake up until about 4 in the afternoon. I went to bed at 7 in the morning, so. The one thing that sucks about that is, sometimes I get a little hungry, and when I like to, if I want to get a snack or a meal on the days that I usually do, I don't feel like cooking. And my family doesn't feel like cooking. Actually, I don't know how to cook, so if there isn't anything easy for me to make or my family doesn't feel like cooking, uh, I feel like getting something. Most of the places aren't actually open, so they don't open until at least at the earliest 6. And most places will open later, like around 8 or 9. So one good thing is they close about 12. Most places will close by midnight or a little bit after midnight. So that's one good thing. I mentioned I wanted to start using Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and all the little other apps that my family and I are paying for, and I'm gonna start looking at Disney. I've been using ESPN Plus maybe once a week to look at a replay of Ajax, but I know the college I'm attending, the university I'm attending, the women's volleyball and the women's soccer are going on right now, and I would like to start watching their games again, and because we currently do not have a football team, and track and field, ESPN doesn't show track and field. So I really need to see when they are. Golf, I don't think they show our college golf. Baseball season and basketball season hasn't started yet. I'm gonna make sure Nightbot is working, though. Sorry for sticking my elbow in your face. I feel like I always say something offensive, and if I have, I do apologize. Um, so yeah. Also, Major League Soccer's going on, and I keep forgetting to look at the days when my favorite teams are playing. So move this a little over. Yeah. And baseball season, Major League Baseball season's over, and college baseball runs from February to about June or July. And that's it. Basketball season, college basketball won't start until um actually in less than 3 weeks. College basketball will start, so I'm excited to follow my favorite college team, the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Also, I also follow along to Harvard, so Harvard sports. So I think I need to get into the habit of checking what in terms of I'm a huge sports fan. If you haven't noticed, so I need to get into the habit of seeing what games are scheduled for the day and when they're playing. If it's a team I like, I'll definitely watch it. So like college football, I don't really have a favorite team. The one team I don't support is the Arkansas State Red Wolves in any sport because they are the rivals of the University of Arkansas Little Rock, and I attend the University of Arkansas Little Rock, so I don't have a favorite college football team. So realistically, I only follow if it's a team, uh, if it's like someone I know that went there, I'll follow that team as well. There are actually a couple of schools that I'll football team that I'll follow of all sports. And that's only if I know if I so if someone I know went there. So hold on, let me type up something. Let's resume. So yeah, and I don't know anyone that currently plays college sports. So my younger sister actually went to school with two people when they joined the school she went to after I left it. Because I went to a different school. Um, but she knows two people now who at least one played up until a few years ago American football for the University of Arkansas. And now he plays in the NFL. The other one was actually a sister of a classmate of mine. Sorry, not a sister. It was a brother of a classmate of mine. My mistake. And he played college football for Auburn University, but he graduated last year. And there were a couple people I went to school with, met that played college basketball for different universities when I was in like middle school with her. I went to, and not only college basketball, but other sports I played. That they played, I mean, not me, at the collegiate level, and they were able to. I met them. I was there at university, which I still am. But I think they aren't. So. Yeah, I've been mainly wanting to move out of state just because I want to live somewhere new and I want to travel. But unfortunately for me, due to the pandemic, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. So, at least for the foreseeable future. Actually, for the vast majority of people living, at least at the time of this live stream, um, no one's lived through a major pandemic on this scale. I say the vast majority of people because there are people that were alive during the 1919 flu pandemic. They're over 100 years old now, so I don't know how many centenarians and super centenarians are alive right now. And there may have been regional pandemics, but none worldwide since 1918, 1919. So we reached a new driver level. That's good. Top gear. I've actually applied for jobs in the United Kingdom, but I don't think any of them have gone back to me. And with the news with the coronavirus, I'm kind of actually glad that they didn't, because like England's in a lockdown now. And although to be fair, America's about, according to from what I've heard from a family member, doctors are saying that America's 3 weeks behind Europe. So not sure how true that is. I'm not trying to cast doubt, but because I believe that with the you should believe medical advice, but I just don't know where she got the news from. So, because the news source isn't always reliable. Like here in America, Fox News and CNN, they aren't reliable. But in CNN's defense, uh, according to media bias fact check, they tend to be more reliable than Fox News. But still, they aren't like, they're biased because they have a left-leaning bias. Fox News is a right-leaning bias. And personally, I think news should be unbiased. It should never have a left or right-leaning bias. And if it does, it should be minimal. Like PBS, for example, tends to be a little bit right-leaning, but they have very minimal bias, according to that site. They have little to no bias, which is good, because that means their news tends to be reliable if it has no bias. And like the BBC, according to the same site, BBC News has a left-leaning bias when they do have bias, but they also have minimal bias. They have little to no bias, which is good. So it was. And one thing when I learned from some of the beginning reporting classes and a couple of other classes I took is that when you're watching the news, not only pay attention to who's telling you the news and where it's coming from, but also pay attention to see if it's being reported by other news outlets. Because if it's being reported by other news outlets, then it tends to be more, then what you're hearing is tend to be more accurate or reliable. Not always, but it always has been. But it usually does. For example, if something, Fox News is reporting something, but CNN, BBC, PBS, maybe news stations in your country, if they are reporting it as well, then I would say it's definitely gonna. It tends to be news worth listening to, I should say. Now, depending on the organization, it may be more biased than others, but more inaccurate. But that depends on which news corporation you're watching and the situation. Because I mean, if it's live, you're definitely bound. If something's happening live, you're definitely bound to get inaccurate information, regardless of who's reporting it, because it's happening live, and they don't always have the most up-to-date in terms of what's going on. So yeah, just basically, yeah, always, look at. I'm not trying to advocate for conspiracy theories because to me they're a load of garbage. I don't think conspiracy theories have any value to them because, but just always listen to the reliable news organizations. So like Fox News, CNN are not reliable. For me, PBS, I would say PBS and BBC News are reliable. I mean, there are a lot of other reliable news organizations out there. I'm just thinking about the ones that tend to come out in my mind. And actually, I believe MSNBC tends to be left wing. I'm not sure if they have what they're about, how accurate their reporting tends to be. And I want to see the same thing for ABC News and NBC News as well, and CBS News as well. So Yeah, just because news is leaning in terms of bias one way or the other does not necessarily mean what they report on is accurate. But it also doesn't mean what they report on is inaccurate. But what I'm trying to say is always choose the new. I'd say it'd be safer to trust news sources that are unbiased and have very factual reporting. That's just my opinion on the whole news thing. So, in terms of bias, even though they tend to have an East Coast bias, I still tend to watch SportsCenter for sporting news. I mean, yeah, so I actually want to know what the media bias fact check. I think it's the name of the site. If I can look up the link, if I can find the link to it, I'll put it in the description. So I also want to see how they report, how they determine it as well. That's one thing I haven't checked out yet. And I want to see if they have a Sports Center and ESPN. So I don't really watch Fox 4 or yeah, I don't really watch Fox Sports. If I said anything offensive, it was an accident when I messed up the pronunciation. So I don't really watch Fox Sports because they don't really have sort of an hourly one because it's Fox and they don't have the most reliable news, and two, they don't really have an hourly news show like ESPN does. Although I wonder if CBS has an equivalent as well. Oh, so All Elite Wrestling has pay-per-view later tonight, and I plan on watching it. Just kind of funny because WWE, I don't really look at Raw or SmackDown anymore. I just don't. The quality of it has been going down over the past couple of years since I started watching, over the past 10 years. So I'll still watch WWE's pay-per-views, and I want to start watching NXT and NXT UK and 205 Live, though. And then with Raw and SmackDown, I may just watch certain matches on the network when they come out. But like Raw and SmackDown, their booking and the storylines haven't really been interesting to me. I mean, the closest thing, in my opinion, the thing that intrigues me the most is the WWE 24/7 Championship. But they can't really do a whole lot with that due to the pandemic in the current state. And I like looking at that because I like seeing where the titles change hands in different places. And the very superstars who aren't being used that much go after the title. And then Retribution actually interests me. But WWE, mainly Vince McMahon, hasn't been booking them properly, which really can say about just about everyone on the main roster. So I think later today, depending on actually when I get up, I'm probably gonna look at college football, and then I'm gonna look at until Full Gear starts. Then I'm gonna look at that, and then I'm going to. I think not tomorrow, not Monday. Actually, Monday I might look at NXT and NXT UK. I watch AEW Dynamite weekly though, so. Although to be fair to them, it's not the same without the fans. And I need to see when Ring of Honor airs their new shows live because I want to start watching them. There's some Mexican wrestling promotions and other wrestling promotions I want to watch, but I can't really find where I can watch their stuff. our affinity level, you know. Yep, same old Kroger. Kroger's purified water. I'm not sure if the Kroger is they have Kroger stores in your country. If they do, let me know. I know for a fact they have Kroger in the United States because that's where I'm currently at right now. Oh. Let's go. I actually would like to move to the United Kingdom after the pandemic is over and like get a good job there. There's certain things about America I miss though if I move. I mean the people I know for sure. But I'd also miss like the watching sports, the sports I like watching live. Like the NFL, Major League Baseball, um, basically all the sports that are live today. Just the time difference out. Probably, actually, I would definitely not be able to watch live. Well, most of the games. And, some of the sports I like to watch, this is mainly on me due to my sleep schedule. And some of the sports actually that I can watch due to my sleep schedule now, but when I start working, I can't. That'd be like some of the soccer leagues I like to watch. I can't really in European soccer leagues. I can't really watch on every live game that I want to see live. Either because they're not showing them on TV or uh, when they are shown live, I am not awake or yeah, I'm not awake for them. So. And I prefer staying up late as opposed to going to bed early, though. Um, then there's like rugby, like soccer, European soccer. Uh, I can watch, but which is something I think I'll start doing now during the weekdays. Is I'll aim to stream. Maybe yeah, I'll try to stream and and make sure my stream is able to process properly. Actually, yeah, I can look on ESPN Plus and TV. So I'm just gonna stream until like the game starts, if I want to. Now, and then just look at it. And just let my stream process. I'm just talking about stuff that isn't important, outside of applying for jobs in grad school, just to occupy my mind, myself, and just have something to talk about, because I think it'd be pretty awkward if, people would watch this video and there's this guy that he's showing himself, but he's not talking. You know, more often than not, when it comes to live streaming, even when I'm live streaming, I don't have no one's watching me live. So that's the thing. Actually, I know that the vast majority of according to YouTube, the vast majority of my viewers come from the United States, and I'm actually not live streaming when most of them are awake. Well, actually, I say that, but I mean, they either not awake or they're going to sleep soon. And that's on weekdays. On weekends, like Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, maybe. So my only thing is I like streaming at night at the times I am streaming is because I want my live streams to be viewed as a video and live by as many people as possible. Even if that won't happen, which it'll never happen because I don't get a lot of views. But more than half the world's population, I would say, lives in Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania, and more often than not, they're a good 6 to maybe 14, 6 to 20 hours ahead of me. So if I'm, if I'm streaming late at night, that needs to be during the day for them, or at night, depending on the places in Oceania. Which actually, Oceania has the smallest population in terms of regions, if you're not counting Antarctica. Or basically a permanent human habitation. So, and to be fair, I'm not sure in terms of not everyone likes watching video games or gameplay, and then not everyone will like the sports games I play or non-sports games I play. So like, I know FIFA is really popular, which I want to start playing more. Which I think I will. Excuse me for burping. Excuse me for burping again. And then, I know that's popular pretty much everywhere. Let's do gold events. But like, I know in Europe and Africa, and yeah, Europe and Africa, and maybe any countries located in the Pacific that aren't connected to Asia, and South America for sure, soccer, and the Caribbean, basically Central America and the Caribbean, soccer is by far the most popular sport there. So, and I want people to enjoy my soccer videos. And tennis is pretty popular in certain countries. In most countries. Golf, I'd say, is pretty well. And then you have like, let's go ahead and get the Honda Civic. Let's go ahead and get this. And we can get this. That's correct. Whereas American football, that's pretty much only popular here in the US. I like rugby, but the countries off the top of my head where it's popular would probably be Polynesia, England, France, Argentina, maybe Spain, and the United Kingdom, and its territories, and Polynesia, and yeah, that's about it, other than the countries I mentioned. So actually, if you're watching this, because I enjoy playing sports games the most, and streaming them and talking to them. if you're watching this, one, where are you from? And two, what's the most popular sports in your area? And three, what is the most popular sporting video game in your country? And it could be a game that's released yearly or just a game that was released once. And what's your favorite game? And oh yeah, if there are any games you want me to play, let me know. I have a PS2, Wii, Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. And I may not get the game you recommend or you'd like me to play right away, but I will definitely keep it in mind to get. I'm thinking of getting the FIFA 20 if they implement it properly on November 10th. I'd like to get FIFA 21, which I hope they do at Microsoft does. Is what I'm saying. I'd like to get FIFA 21 and NHL 21 when EA Play is made available for Xbox Game Pass uh, subscribers for them. I believe the maximum amount of races you can do in any Forza game would be 1,000, which is a lot. Well, you know, one day I'd like to try that in one sitting, but I don't think that day would be soon. Who knows? I mean, I don't have a job right now, but I was thinking back to when I said I'd like to get an Xbox Series X for myself. Um, I don't have a job, but I have saved up some money from when I did have one. So I would like to, but I'm not sure if I will. If I, yeah. Well, not this week, but I think not next week either. Let me see. Maybe not the week after. When is? But maybe the last. Okay, it's probably the last full week of uh November. That'll be Thanksgiving break. Um, here in America, so I'll have like no classes for that full week. But I will still more than likely have to do some assignments. So my first project that I was stressed out about, it was due 2 days ago on Thursday, and I managed to complete it. I hope I did it correctly. I hope I get a grade on it. It has not been graded. To my knowledge, it hasn't. And I really do hope, because I do not want to fail any classes this year, and I would really like to graduate. And this is probably going to be my most stressful semester. Going for nearly an hour, and I need to pull up chat. That's one thing I completely forgot to do. I don't remember when exactly I minimized the screen, but but I did. So, uh, one moment. Sorry, I'm trying to stop my chair from moving. I'm glad I have a chair like this, but I hate it with a passion. Um, at times. Uh, because I'm gonna grab a wet wipe first, and then I hate it because it will quickly like if you adjust the way you're sitting, it'll move, and it'll start moving to a place. It'll start moving around, and the way it moves around, I'm not exactly. Move this over real quick. Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, the way it moves over is away from the uh, TV screen, and when you're playing a video game and live streaming, the the video game, you kind of want to be able to see the TV to play the game, and the kind of moves away from my PC as well, and I want to be able to see the PC so I won't lag out, and I can view chat actually. Over a minute slower, but I don't mind. So we've completed another race. Sorry, I was clearing my throat. Need to pull up chat again, which I just did. Continue. I was in Monterey, California, USA, and now we're going to Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, or UAE. So, this should be interesting. How well do y'all think I'm gonna do? Hold on. I don't know what to talk about. I'm gonna move my face cam a little over as well. Which I did. I wanted to pay attention to the live chat replay too. see that, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, I think that this is where I'm going to have my face cam for a while now. Maybe not for every stream that I use a face cam, but at least for the Forza streams. No lag yet. That's good. Hopefully I didn't jinx it, but we'll see. Alright, so far so good. I'm in 3rd place out of 4th, so I would like to change that. Maybe we can. Maybe we can't, but I'm still not going to give up. I like this, but the amount of cars here to pass 3 other drivers does not make it easy. Then again, for easy, it'll get very boring quickly. So, maybe it's a good thing that it's challenging. So if you've ever seen your gamertag in any of my Forza Motorsport videos, I always think that's cool because I never know who's gonna watch this. But if you ever see your gamertag, let me know where you saw it. Same with any other video game where I've been playing with other people. And like we haven't set it up beforehand, or you're not on my friends list, I think that'd be pretty cool. If it's just random people I've played, random people who I've never played with, or maybe I have played with, tune into my channels. So, and just by coincidence, we're playing a multiplayer game, or they're in a game like this where maybe they're just randomly chosen. I don't know. Yeah, because this technically, yes, I think it's online, but it's not like every race I'm playing against real people. So. So, we've been going for over an hour, which I think is pretty cool. Circuit de Spa. Oh man, I wonder, I never remember, but what language do they speak in Belgium? I can look it up after the stream. Alright, so we have to finish in 10th or higher. Sweet. Belgium. I want to say maybe I think in part of Belgium they speak Flemish, but I also want to say not Frutch. Sorry. I almost said that's a combination of French and Dutch. I was thinking of French and Dutch. So, I mean, feel free to let me know. Oh, I also want to know what language they speak in Switzerland. But, like, Switzerland and Belgium are always, like, two of those countries that I look up what language they speak, but I can never remember what, like, the most commonly spoken language. When I say speak, I mean the most commonly spoken languages there are. So Switzerland and Belgium. I know in Italy they speak Italian. Oh, same with Montenegro and Brunei. So there are a whole lot of places where I don't know what countries are. I don't know what language is the most commonly spoken language. So I like to look that up. Well, so do some. We have a Honda Civic 04. Gosh, 2004 was 16 years ago. Can y'all believe it? It's been 16 years since 2004. Shoot, I was 9 in 2004. 9 years old. I'm 25 now. I mean, I was like 8 for like the first little more than a month and a half, but then mid February rolled around, and bam, I'm 9. So, well, when 3 people aren't using a Honda, they're using an Acura. Cool. Shoot, I'm thinking now there are people alive today that are, you know, 9 years old and older. People in school that, they that were born during or after 2004. That are like old enough to remember, or I'm not sure, that could be watching this video. Thinking like, I remember when I graduated high school 7 years ago, and to me it's crazy how long it's been since I graduated high school. Now I'm graduating university. I didn't, like, I took a semester off, just because I actually got accepted into a college in the state that I live in, but out of town, and I wasn't ready to move out, so I moved back home and just didn't go to college for that semester. And then, actually a couple of years later, I took another semester off, but completely different reasons. So, shoot, now I'm just ready to move out. I feel like I'm ready to move out. So, I don't know what to talk about now. I wonder how many more races we have left in this event series. I should really see. Just see that at the end of this race, but before the next race. I think we're obviously nearing the finish line, so. Think if it's a map like this where it takes me roughly 3 minutes to do a lap, and there are 1,000 laps, that would be about 3,000 minutes. Yeah, and there are 60 minutes in an hour, which means I cannot do that off the top of my head. So I'm guessing 500 hours, which would be more than several days. Let me see. Yeah, probably. Or 60. I don't know. How long would it take me to do a 1,000 lap race? Okay, 5 more races after this. I think I'll actually end the live stream here, y'all, today. So thank you for watching, and